We've had a wonderful morning. Have you enjoyed it so far? How about a round of applause for what we've had so far? By now, you've heard the dynamic speaker this morning, our keynote speaker. You've attended at least 2 workshop sessions with several presenters, and I know you've enjoyed them just as much as I have. What we're going to do now is begin our luncheon program with meditation by Ms. Joyce Bracy Bond. She will be followed by the Oak Park Gentlemen's Club, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them before they come.
Good afternoon. As we consider what happens with STEM, we'd like to feature a word for meditation today of hard work equals success with follow-through. Sometimes we're inspired about something and come up with an idea for a new product, an exciting venture, or an innovative solution to a problem. For a while, we are enthusiastic about our idea. Then our eagerness dies. Getting good ideas is the easy part. The hard part is the part most people don't do, follow through. That's the difference between achievers and non-achievers. Those little bits of creation that pop up in our minds happens for a reason. We are meant to accomplish things. If we don't follow through, we'll never know what we can do. Today, let's take action on one project. If you have a good idea about STEM, if you have a good idea about implementation, if you have a good idea about recruitment of our students, if you have a good idea for a special program in your school, if you have a recommendation to correct a problem, submit a proposal to your supervisor. If you have a good idea for a career change which will lead you to a STEM career, find out how to get started. Today, let's follow our ideas to the destination of success. And success simply comes by accepting citizenship in the city of I Can, in the state of Because, in the country of It Is Possible, across the river of confidence, on the continent of determination. Remembering to bypass I Can't in the state of Because, in the country of It's Impossible, across the river of doubt, on the continent of No-No. Let us take courage for follow-through. May we bow our heads for a moment of silence. Thank you, and enjoy your lunch.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce a group of young men. I was told by their organizer, Miss Joanne Burton, that they are 1st through 5th graders from the Oak Park Elementary School. They choose not to be referred to as a choir. They are the Oak Park Gentlemen's Club. Their motto is learners today, leaders today, tomorrow, and always. Darnell Ward is director. There are 3 other names here, apparently supervisors or chaperones, Mrs. Pritchett, Ms. Owens, and Mr. Vance. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Oak Park Gentlemen's Club. Let's give them a round of applause.
To
Alexander, future Golden Lions. Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Burton, Mr. Vance and company, Director, Mr. Ward, I believe. Thank you. Ms. Pritchett and Ms. Owens. Thank you once again. They did indeed let their light shine, and because they know that education is so important, I know that they are going to be successful. One more round of applause. Introduction of our keynote speaker by Chancellor Dr. Lawrence B. Alexander. Dr. Alexander will be followed by a speaker and then our music. Dr. Alexander.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
As Dr. Jones said, we've had our music. I hope you enjoyed the Oak Park Gentlemen's Club as much as I did. This is a great moment for us at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and for the Educational Access Conference here on the 21st conference. We are pleased and honored to have as our speaker for the afternoon a friend of UAPB and a distinguished senator, Senator Linda Pondexter Chesterfield. Senator Chesterfield represents Senate District 30, which comprises part of the Pulaski County. She is serving her second term in the Arkansas Senate. In the current 89th General Assembly, she is chairman of the Joint Energy and Arkansas Legislative Councils. She is vice chairman of the Senate Public Health, Welfare, and Labor Legislative Joint Auditing, as well as the Executive Committee of the Legislative Joint Auditing. She's also an active member on several other committees, including the Senate Transportation, Technology, and Legislative Affairs Committee, where she has served as chairman during the 88th General Assembly, the Joint Budget Committee, the Arkansas Legislative Council, and the Senate Children and Youth Committee, just to name a few. Senator Chesterfield has been active in many local and state and national organizations, holding various leadership posts, including past president of the Little Rock School Board and the Pulaski Association of Classroom Teachers, and past two-term president of the Arkansas Education Association. Professionally, Senator Chesterfield is a retired educator with over 30 years of classroom experience. She and her husband, Emery, own a consulting firm, Poindexter Chesterfield Consulting. As a native of Hope, Arkansas, Senator Chesterfield was the first African American to graduate from Hendrix College. The Chesterfields reside in Little Rock and attend First Baptist Church. We are proud to call Senator Chesterfield our friend at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, as she's been an avid supporter and a beacon of light and hope through her contributions and her efforts to progressively enrich our STEM Academy at our institution. So without further ado, it is my esteemed pleasure to present to some and to introduce to others Senator Chesterfield.
It must be borne in mind that the tragedy in life does not lie in failing to reach your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach. It is not a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled. Oh, but it is a calamity not to dream. It is not a disaster to fail to capture your ideal, but it is a disaster to have no ideal to capture. It is not a disgrace to fail to reach the stars. Oh, but it is a disgrace to have no star to reach for. Not failure, but low aim is sin. And we are here today because those who know AMNN or UAPB has always aimed high. Good afternoon. I want to thank Dr. Alexander. And let me just say what an honor it has been to work with him. He has a vision for this institution that I think is a great one. And he follows in the footsteps of those who have gone before and will make this institution even more great than it is right now. It is time for us who believe in the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff to invest our time and energy in pushing this historic institution forward to even greater things. Arkansas A&M College was a beacon of light to African American students who craved educational excellence, coupled with a social setting that allowed them to become well-rounded human beings. Living in a society that set up roadblocks to education for people of color, this land-grant institution was our best hope. Emphasizing agricultural, mechanical, and normal educational opportunity, it produced great graduates whose legacies have impacted this state, this nation, and the world. It was our best hope for a chance to advance. And today, now known as the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, we still have that same challenge. African American students can go to any college they choose, but the barriers to success based on race are still very much alive and well. One cannot help but notice the recent United States Supreme Court ruling that says citizens of a state can determine if they want to act affirmatively in desegregating their institutions. We have come full circle from a Supreme Court headed by a Republican Chief Justice named Earl Warren, which handed down the landmark decision known as Brown v. Board, which ordered that separate is inherently unequal, to a Supreme Court headed by a Republican Chief Justice named Roberts, who has decided that affirmative action is okay, but the states get to decide whether they want it or not. Can you just imagine that decision being handed down in the 50s and 60s? Can you imagine what would have happened in Alabama and Arkansas and Georgia and Louisiana and Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, which were front and center in the fight for equality in the 50s and 60s if we had had this same court? But President Johnson have led the fight for the Civil Rights Act of '64, the Voting Rights Act of '65, or the Fair Housing Act of '68. All of these acts have been diluted by this court. What does that have to do with STEM, you ask? And I say to you, everything. Because it is imperative that a college which produces more African American college graduates than any other in the state prepare its students to compete for the jobs of today. Because you are still that beacon of hope. UAPB is the bellwether for educational and economic excellence in this state. If this institution can produce enough graduates who are science, technology, engineering, and math ready, we can attract industry to the Delta that will bring with it high-paying jobs, high-quality research, improved quality of life for its citizens, and race be damned. Acquiring degrees in STEM She told me to be who I am. Acquiring degrees in STEM areas of emphasis should not be deemed as unique to this generation of African Americans. There have been outstanding African American men and women in these fields since this country came into being. The first black inventor to receive a patent for a corn harvesting machine was Henry Blair of Maryland. Benjamin Banneker, who was denied a formal education but invented the first striking clock, and who was an astronomer who also provided one of the first almanacs in the history of this country, as well as being the surveyor whose astronomical memory allowed Washington, D.C. to be laid out as it is today. Jan Matzeliger invented the first appliance of its kind to perform all the steps that led to the discharge of a complete shoe. Garrett Morgan, who invented the gas inhalator, the prototype of the gas mask, and the three-way automatic stop sign. He sold his patent to General Electric Corporation. Elijah McCoy, the real McCoy, received over 57 patents for inventions on lubricating appliances and other devices pertaining to telegraphy and electricity. Augustus Jackson became known as the man who invented ice cream. And Ernest Everett Just was a zoologist whose work on cell biology took him to marine laboratories in the US and Europe. Charles Henry Turner became a noted authority on the behavior of insects, and he was the first researcher to prove that insects can hear. Great women of the STEM movement. Madam C.J. Walker, who was a widow who invented hair care products that have changed the face of African American women forever. Started her own theater and bank and became the first self-made female millionaire in the United States. April Erickson, the first African American female to receive a PhD in mechanical engineering from Howard University, and the first African American female to receive a PhD in engineering at the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. Erickson was the 1997 recipient of Women in Science and Engineering Award for Best Female Engineer in the federal government. I could go on and on. Why do I tell you this? Because so many of our children in K through 12 have been told they cannot succeed. Too many of our children in K through 12 have been told that if you come from a single parent home, if you are poor, then there's no way you're going to be successful. We are here to say today that simply is not true, because these individuals of whom I spoke, many were one step out of slavery, and yet their phenomenal achievement puts to the lie that our children cannot be great in science, technology, engineering, and math, or whatever they want to be. But while we talk about STEM, and I'm not going to be with you very long because I do believe in the 3 S's of public speaking: stand up to be seen, speak up to be heard, and sit down to be appreciated. Let me say this. I think STEM is great, but STEM needs to also be STEAM, because we cannot forget the arts. We can bring in as much industry as we can, but if there is not a quality of life that includes music and art and literature, our way of life is substandard. And so while we are pursuing STEM, let's remember STEAM, because it is through the arts that we improve the quality of the life that we live. UAPB is the linchpin that can bring it all together and hold it together. That is why we are here. You have programs that engage K through 12 students. Keep it up. You have programs that engage the community. Keep it up. You are UAPB. There is none like you anywhere in the world. You owe it to yourself, your legacy, and to the rest of us who care about you to pursue excellence in science, technology, engineering, and math. But even more importantly, you owe it to your legacy and to those of us who respect you so much to reach back and bring young people with you, and know that in spite of all the difficulties, in spite of the fact that you should have had more money donated to you by the state than you got, in spite of the fact that the federal government should have given you more money, we are still a part of this struggle. We're still going to have a STEM building that's going to open in August. No matter what the courts say, if we do our job in historically black colleges and universities, we will still turn out men and women who are ready for this society and ready to lead it to where it needs to be. It cannot happen without a struggle. And so I leave you very simply with the words of Frederick Douglass, who said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom, and that's what education gives you, and yet deprecate agitation, you got to shake it up a little bit sometimes, want the crops without plowing up the ground. They want the rain without the thunder and the lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its mighty waters. This struggle that we're in may be a moral one, or it may be a physical one, or it may be both moral and physical, but it must be a struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has. It never will. We may not get all we pay for in this life, but we must certainly pay for all we get. So here, let us stand together as one. Let us speak together as one. Let us be together as one as we continue to pursue the excellence that is the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. May God bless you and keep you.
Thank you, Dr. Pondexter. What an inspirational address after lunch. Usually that's a little nap time for me, but I did not, she didn't lose my attention, not 1 minute. So, I believe Dr. Benjamin and Mrs. Wiley are coming forth to make a presentation.
Senator Chesterfield, we'd like to thank you. First of all, we'd like to commend you again on a wonderful, wonderful speech, inspiring, motivating, and appropriate for us here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Thank you. We'd also like to present you, to give you this presentation as a token of our appreciation for all that you have done and for all that you continue to do to benefit us at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and especially for your passion for STEM education here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. We thank you.